Good morning and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen James, the channel that brings you your team every single day, guys. This is the new season launch here on the channel. We are live this morning, bringing you all the latest, obviously, from the channel. We're going to obviously start off with a little bit of housekeeping initially, talking to you about what the offer is for this season, what's going to be going on the channel. And then I want to talk a little bit about just a couple of topics before we finish. Obviously ahead of the main podcast, which is tonight, which is obviously the Q&A, which is the podcast for you, the fan. It's a big part of our a big part of what we do here on the channel, isn't it? It's all about you. It's about your involvement on this channel, because this is a fan-based channel. This is for you. This is what we want to talk about. We want to talk about, what you want. We want to talk about your topics, your thoughts, your comments going into the new season. Morning, Caleb. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well this Wednesday morning. Yes, it is Wednesday. It is Wednesday morning. Well, guys, it is obviously we are fast approaching the start of the new season in terms of the fixtures, in terms of the pre-season friendlies. I think the first game is obviously Ajax on the 13th. So that is obviously the first game that we are up against. But where are we as a team? We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But let's talk a little bit about what the channel will be bringing you this season. So this is the new offer for this season. It's a new season here on Glasgow Rangers, on Owen James, Glasgow Rangers Nation. We'll have a minimum of two live pods in the week. So Monday to Friday, a minimum of 2 pods. We'll be bringing you all the latest, obviously, news, views, updates, what's going on with the channel, what's going on with Rangers, talking about the games, talking about any transfer rumors, talking about any issues within the club, addressing them and getting your thoughts, opinions on them. So that'll be Monday to Friday, 2 regular pods. Days may vary. It depends, obviously, when I'm working. Unfortunately, I do still have a full-time job. A really shit full-time job. I'm a retail manager, and it is a really shit retail manager. I do really hate the job, but there we go. You've got to pay the bills, haven't you? So look, that's where we're at with this. So yeah, 2 pods in the week. We'll also be bringing you every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. the final word. Where we'll be talking about what's gone on over the week and obviously what went on at the weekend with the match, with the game, looking back at the results also from the SPL, where it leaves us and where we are as a club coming out of that weekend. So the final word will be 8:30 every Sunday. Put it in your diaries now. There will also be what I'm going to call fan forums every month, 2 of them every month. So what is a fan forum? How will a fan forum work? Well, we'll come back to the offer in a minute. The fan forum will involve you coming here and coming on to the channel to talk about Rangers, talk about what you want to discuss, and actually appearing here on the screen if you want to. Now, I stream on something called StreamYard. That's what I use to stream. Morning, CJ. How you doing? So I stream on StreamYard. Now, on StreamYard, you can do something where you can invite guests to come on to the channel. It's quite clever, really. So I'm going to try and show you that if I can. If I can do that. Let me just see if I can do that without massively, obviously, destroying this this stream. So, look, the way to do it is this. There we go. Let's have a look, see if we can do this now. See if I can show you through sharing a screen how we do it. Right, let's have a look. So, here we go. Let's see if we can actually do this and show you. Morning, Dad. Morning, Alice. We'll talk to you a little bit more in a moment. No, it's not going to work without me moving the stream. So anyway, here on StreamYard, we have what's called an invite button. And on that invite button, you can press that invite. You can then get the link to this StreamYard broadcast, and you will be able to come on to the channel and talk about all things Rangers. Actually appear here on the screen with me. I mean, obviously not for the whole show. We can't do that because we want to get as many of you on as is possible. So yeah, you will be able to appear on here, talk about the channel, talk about the team, ask questions of me, ask questions of the fans. So that'll be twice a month. We'll give you the opportunity to actually come onto the channel, come onto the screen and talk on that. You don't have to show your face. there is a way to not show your face. When you come on, you just press stop cam and it will only play your audio. Okay, so there is a way to stop having to actually come on. You just press stop cam and you do not have to show your face on the channel. So don't worry about that. If you don't want to show your face, if you're wanted by the police, for example, or you've got an ex-wife who's after you for some sort of maintenance payments, then obviously, you can obviously stop the camera and not appear on the screen. Morning, Elder. How you doing? Alice says, morning. Nice shirt. Thank you very much. Morning. Aldo says, away top, minted. Got mine too. Still waiting on the home top. Me too. Aldo, mine is on order. Caleb says he's going to come on. He's going to put his scarf around his face. Like I said, all you got to do, Caleb, is press the stop the stop cam button, and you don't then appear. Your picture doesn't appear. It's just your voice that will appear on the channel. Yeah, I like the away top more on the home top. I think they could have put the badge, use this badge on the home top. I agree with you on that one, Aldo. So let's get back to the offer for this channel this year, this upcoming season. So we've got 2 fan forums. Obviously, have the continuing daily news and opinion vids. Obviously, every single day bringing you a news and opinion vid. Obviously, any breaking news vids, any other videos that come up during the day, we'll bring you when we can, obviously when I'm not at work. And live watch-alongs of the games, that will still be here. And obviously shorts as well. So that's the offer for the new season here on Glasgow Rangers Nation. Owen James, guys. So obviously, please, look, if you want to join, if you want to subscribe, obviously subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss out on any of the content. That's the best way to make sure. If you want to become a channel member, obviously it's only 99p. If you want to support the channel, plenty of ways to do it. CJ says he's going to put a ski mask on. Nice one. And I think it would be cool to like the Enigma, lol. And yeah, we need to open a Rangers shop in England, new tops retro. I agree with that, Dado. Yeah, all you do, guys, is literally you do that. You press stop cam, and then you don't appear on the screen. Your face isn't there, but you can still hear me. You just can't see my ugly mug. And it'd be the same for you. All you'd be appear is just as whatever your avatar is, or whatever. If you just a blank grey face, and then you'd be able to talk. That's mine at this moment in time. So there we go. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Stop cam, and then you just appear like that on the screen, and you can just hear the voice. We also, guys, if you don't realize, we also do stuff on TikTok as well. Apparently, that's one of the upcoming places to be. So my 2 teenage daughters tell me. At Glasgow Rangers Nation on there. We've got over 5,000 followers on that channel. We have some pretty decent views on videos. We do, lots of stuff on there. We do lives, we do videos, everything on there as well. So if you're on TikTok, give us a follow. Check that out. We're on there as well. We'll also do some lives on there for the upcoming season as well. So that's the offer from the channel. Like I said, if you want to join, if you want to obviously come and become a member. Best way though is to subscribe, watch the content. Also, right on the bottom of the screen is all the other places you find us on social media: Facebook, Instagram as well. We are also now on Twitter as well. I need to add that back on X after some run-ins with X as well. So yeah, just watch out for that. We're on there. We do put stuff up on Twitter. We obviously feature the show. We do a lot of stuff on there as well. So obviously look out for that. That's going to scroll along the bottom of the screen. So yeah, looking forward to the interaction. Looking forward to talking to you this season. Caleb says, my pronouns and everything is Glasgow and don't know if anyone's seen the Jimmy Carr sketch on that. It's hilarious. I'm not going to do it on here because I'll get in a lot of trouble for it. But quiet garage today, thank goodness. On lol, says Aldo. Thank you, Aldo. Yeah, mate, seriously, look. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the pronouns joke, but there's a very funny Jimmy Carr pronouns joke. If you haven't listened to it yet, go just Google Jimmy Carr pronouns joke. It's very funny. I'm not going to do the joke on here because I will get cancelled. Okay, so right, what do we need to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk first about the stadium debacle, what's going on with that. We're going to talk a little bit about where we are as a club at this moment in time. And we're going to talk a little bit as well, just before we go, about the Champions League, with obviously all the dates set in stone now. Also, we've got the opponents we could face in the third qualifying round. That has been finalised as well, so we can look at that. Okay. Dado says, here, I've ordered new tops from Rangers. Nothing, it's gone missing. Oh my God, Dado, that's tragic, man. That is bad news. Mine is allegedly on the way, according to the email I received yesterday. I think I got an email this morning, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I've been busy sleeping. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the stadium debacle. So we know that the Ibrox is unavailable for the whole of August. It will be allegedly available for September. You know, it means looking at the fixtures will obviously not be able to play them, not be able to play at Ibrox for the 2 first home games of the season, which, you know, is really bad. You know, at the end of the day, it is, you know, just, I think, a complete and utter joke how this whole stadium debacle has been handled. So the Motherwell game and the Ross County game will be played somewhere else, yet undecided. September, then we've only got 1 home game in September. That's Hibs at home on the 26th. I think that says. I can't read it, it's a bit too small. Which obviously, you know, again, it's dubious. It's touch and go whether that one goes ahead at Ibrox, apparently. So it could be the first home game is St Johnstone at home on the 5th of October, which, you know, considering that would be 3 home games played away from Ibrox, would be a bloody shambles. And I think, you know, linking into what CJ said here. You know, CJ says here, good luck, Dardo. Happened to me before. Customer service stinks. You know, I agree. You know, ordering anything off Rangers is like pulling teeth, says Dardo. I think it kind of really shows that as a club, there is a real failure in leadership, a real failure in, you know, organising, in actually running the club. You know, you look at how the club is run, and look, I know that without these people running our club, we would be in a lot of trouble. I understand that. You know, in fact, we haven't got the money. Obviously, without John Bennett, without Douglas Park's son, without John Halstead, we have not got the money. And I understand that. I get that 100%. But the club needs to be run better. The club needs to be organised better. And one of the things they need to do is communicate with the fans a whole lot better in terms of some of these things. Now, look, the situation is that we are uncertain as where we're going to be playing our games. It is now obviously the 3rd of July. Sorry, the 3rd of July. We are, you know, 10 days away from the Ajax game, which obviously is in Holland. We are fast approaching the start of the season, which is in August. You know, we're about a month away now from the start of the season, and we don't know where the home game is going to be played. Now, as a fan, as a supporter, as someone, you know, who you know, understands what, me neither, although I don't like you and I hate Stuart Robertson with a passion. But, you know, look, as season ticket holders, those of you out there who are season ticket holders or who regularly attend games, you know, not knowing where you're going to go for the first home game of the season, where you've got to, you know, where the expectation is for you to attend, is absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. You know, at the end of the day, you need to just kind of, I don't know, you've got to have a plan. You know, and let's face it, if these games are moved to Murrayfield, for example, that's 48 miles from Glasgow. Now, I know Rangers fans travel from all over, and I understand that lots of people travel from England, they travel from Ireland, they travel all over to games. But there's fans within the city of Glasgow that, you know, money's not easy to come by. You know, the fact that, yeah, great point here as well. You know, my disabled cousin and aunt are season ticket holders, and he needs disability access. You know, what is the disability access like at Murrayfield? You know, the situation is this. Sorry, is some idiot neighbour of mine is just starting to actually do something with his fucking cement mixer. What a dick. Shut the window. Sorry, guys. Apologies about that. I had to shut the window. Tam says, can you imagine how happy Rodgers will be when he realises Mido will be destroying Tav all season again? Okay, right. So I think Tam's actually a Rangers fan, I think. So let's have a look at this. Where are we up to? Okay, yeah. So we're talking about Murrayfield. We're talking about the stadium. Look, we as fans, we need to know where these games are going to take place. Now, according to the latest reports coming out, there is negotiations between Rangers and the SFA to use Hampden. Now, it was thought originally that Hampden would be a no good, would be not possible, because of the fact that there's pop concerts there this summer. Obviously, Taylor Swift, Pink, obviously are all there this summer. The pitch is then going to be taken up and changed. I mean, let's face it, the Hampden pitch is fucking shocking anyway. You know, look, it's probably the preferable option. I mean, like I said, we've got a situation where you are possibly going to have to go to Murrayfield. Now, Murrayfield is 48 miles away from the city of Glasgow, and you've also got to take into consideration as well that you've got Hibs and Hearts, playing in the city of Edinburgh, and it's effectively taking those home games and turning them into away games. It's also as well throwing away home advantage because of the fact that, look, Ibrox is a absolute fortress on European nights. Ibrox rocks on European nights. Ibrox is the 12th man on European nights. Now, will you have that same thundering atmosphere? Will you have that same fearlessness from the players on those European nights? If it's at Hampden or if it's at Murrayfield, the way the board have conducted this whole stadium debacle is absolutely a joke. And I know they've sacked the project manager, but I genuinely don't think that it's just I don't think it's just that project manager that is to blame. You've got to look at the board. You've got to look at outgoing CEO James Bisgrove and kind of raise questions of what the hell were they doing? Why is their organization so poor? Now, some of it is down to the fact that the steel was bought from Asia because why? It was cheap compared to buying steel from Europe. We could have bought steel from Europe. It would have been more expensive, but it would have been here quicker. Look, at the end of the day, it is an absolute disgrace how this whole situation has gone on. It's yet more proof that this board are not fit to run our club. And I think that's what the board need to remember, that this is our club. This is our club. It's not their club. I mean, they're happy with mediocrity as long as it lines their pockets. John Bennett, John Halstead, the Parks, they're happy to sit there and line their pockets with European money, line their pockets with the fans' money, as long as, of course, they are getting their pound of flesh out of the club. So, look, and good point from William here. Any trouble happens at the Man United game, you can kiss playing at Murrayfield. Absolute. Now, like I said, the latest reports seem to be that Rangers are negotiating with the SFA about using Hampden. That is the feeling. Now, look, Hampden is not great. It isn't great, but it is, I think, it's the best of two bad options. I mean, Murrayfield, I think, is ridiculous because of the fact it's in Edinburgh, it's not in Glasgow. It's not home advantage. It's 48 miles away from the city of Glasgow. It's ridiculous. I do think that Hampden is probably the best option if we can't use Ibrox. Now, obviously, like I said, it is an absolute disgrace. Caleb, I think that would have been a strong possibility had the board come out and been more honest over this. The stories that I'm hearing from the fans forum groups is that they knew about this 2-3 weeks ago, but said nothing. Neil Doncaster, I think Neil Doncaster's an absolute idiot. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Neil Doncaster in the slightest. Of course I don't. But at the end of the day, he did say that had Rangers come to them before the date they did, then it may have been possible to do something with those fixtures in terms of actually playing them all the way at the start of the season. But the fixtures were already done by that point, and it isn't possible now. So Rangers have kind of shot themselves in the foot again, through the fact they just genuinely have not done things the right way. Like I said, this board are an absolute joke. They are ridiculous in how they run the club. They couldn't run a bloody bath, the idiots. Honestly, can't stand Goldson. I want him gone. Tav, too. Past it now. Absolutely spot on. I agree with that. But we are going to talk more about that this evening in the Q&A, guys. But yeah, the stadium is the debacle of the stadium is poor. I mean, like I said, the negotiations are ongoing. Apparently, it looks like more like Hampden now, which, look, I know Hampden is ham dump, but it's probably a better option out of the two because it's in Glasgow at least. At least then it's in Glasgow. There's obviously other questions as well as regards, as regards, obviously, what's going to happen with ticketing, what's going to happen with access and things like that. It's a complicated one, and the club need to come out sooner rather than later to actually say, what is happening with this. Hampden's capacity obviously is 51,866. So that's that. I mean, that's not too bad. Rangers, obviously, our capacity is 50,987. So Hampden is slightly bigger. I agree, Steve. Hampden is realistically is the only option because of the fact, like I said, Murrayfield is in Edinburgh, and it's giving away home advantage. And I think people have talked a little bit about, the fact that, look, Hampden is bad, but Murrayfield is Edinburgh. They've talked about this. Oh, it's still a stadium. There's gonna be more fans, etc. It's still home advantage. Home advantage counts. Particularly in the Champions League, home advantage counts. You've only got to look at some of those Europa League ties. Go back to the Leipzig game, for example, the Dortmund game. To look at the part the fans played in those games. The fact of the fans were. Listen to Gary Neville and Roy Keane talk about Ibrox atmosphere. Ibrox is ferocious. Talk about all these things with Ibrox, and for me, that's gone now. And the Champions League qualifiers will have to be played at Hampden or at Murrayfield, and we've lost that Ibrox atmosphere. We've lost the fire of Ibrox. So for me personally, I think it's a damn disgrace. At least the Old Firm is at shite head in the first month. We can't afford to play home games versus Celtic at Hampden. Agreed. Play it at Windsor. Yeah, lol. Windsor Park. Yeah, let's go to Northern Ireland and play the game. It's an option. I suppose you could do that for one game, maybe. Caleb says, Tam's very angry. Tam is really angry. Hampden's a football ground. If it was a rugby ground, good point. Absolutely. The pitches are different as well. I mean, rugby pitches are different to football pitches. Clement has to win v Celtic if he doesn't still back him, but pressure will be on by spot. Aldo's spot on if he does not win. He does not beat Celtic in the first Old Firm game of the year. He will be bang under pressure. Absolutely massively under pressure. 100% agreed on that one. Huge yes to that one. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Champions League, shall we? Now, look, I want to put one thing on record, right? Now, I was reading a few comments this morning about the Champions League, and still some Rangers fans saying, "Oh, we'd be better off playing in the Europa League. It's embarrassing in the Champions League. We'll be humiliated." Blah blah blah. Look, I think a lot of fans are missing the point, hugely missing the point on the Champions League. Look, realistically, we're not going to win the Champions League. The best we can hope for is to get a easy group, progress to the first knockout stage, and then probably get put out by one of the big boys. I hate talking like this. It's defeatist. I get that. But the issue is this. The Champions League is a big boys club. The Champions League is a millionaires. No, I'll rephrase that. Is a billionaires club. It's a billionaires club. And we're not in that club anymore. We're not in the same bracket as some of those massive European, massively financed European teams. Okay. That's just a sheer fact of life where we're up to at the moment. We don't have the funds. The league doesn't have the funds. The TV deals aren't there. I don't know why my comments not loading. Come on, I'm trying to get my comments. I'll try and get your comments back up in a minute. But my comments are playing up this morning. So let's have a look. Right. Okay. So it's £60 million. Let's have a look. Here we got some comments. Arnie says, welcome, Arnie. He says, the fire of Ibrox is the fans. Doesn't matter when we play, the fans will take the roof off. What else we got here? Chris says, atmosphere in Hampden is shit. Fans too far away from the pitch. And we will be lining the SFA pockets, rather play in a public park than play there. Yeah, I understand that, the traumatization from the last UCL campaign. I understand that. Clement got to round of 16 with Bruges in the UCL one time. He did. SPFL holding Rangers back. I'd rather play South. Hate the SPFL. I mean, we all do, and we'd all rather play in England, obviously. But look, I understand what you're saying in terms of being traumatized by the whole situation with the Champions League. But it's not, for me, it's not about competing. It's about money. At the end of the day, and I know it's really sad to say, it's about money. It's £60 million can be made out of the Champions League. It's all about money for me. If we can qualify for the Champions League this season, we hand Celtic £60 million. 60 million. The most you can earn in the Europa League is 21 million. Now, that means we are earning a third of what they earn. it puts them financially further and further ahead. They're already financially ahead of us. And whether we like it or not, Celtic financially are ahead of us. They're miles ahead of us because they've been in the Champions League now for a number of seasons and earned Champions League money. And like I said, and I've said this a number of times, for me, it's not about the competition, because we should be concentrating on the league. We should be concentrating on the cups. We should be concentrating on Scotland. That's where we should be concentrating and focusing, and using the money we get from the Champions League to help us be successful in our own league. That's what we should be doing. That's how it should be going. But, like I said, realistically, we're not going to be able to win this Champions League. At the end of the day, the only teams that are going to win the Champions League: Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Barcelona. They're the teams that will go on to be successful and go on to compete for the Champions League every season, season in, season out. Why? Because they've got the biggest budget at the end of the day. So we need to be the only reason we need to get the Champions League, whether we succeed in it or not, is the monetary value, is the money we bring into the club. That's why we need to be there at the end of the day. And I know that's really sad to talk about. And, as a football fan, as someone who loves football is a competition. It's a team game. It's a sport where we should be trying to win everything we're in. But realistically, like I said, unless you're Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, FC Barcelona, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, teams like that, you have got absolutely no chance of winning the Champions League. It's never going to happen because they have got such massive, huge budgets. I mean, realistically, could you see Rangers competing with Real Madrid, with Jude Bellingham, with Vinny Jr., with Arda Güler? Could you see us competing with, with the likes of Manchester City, with Erling Haaland, Rodri, Doku, Jack Grealish, John Stones, Ederson, Nathan Ake, just superstar players? I mean, it's just not possible anymore. It's sad, I know. So these apparently are our possible playoff opponents for the third qualifying round of the tournament. The draw is on the 22nd of July. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So it's Fenerbahce, Union Saint-Gilloise, Dynamo Kiev, or 20 Eshende. Jesus, that is a tough draw if it's any of those teams. But let's have a quick focus on the Champions League and how it works. So the Champions League has changed this year. The biggest change to the group is the group stage, which will become a single 36-team league stage. It's kind of I think the first move to trying to bring in a European Super League by the back door. I think that is the theory behind this. Each side faces 8 different teams, 4 home, 4 away. So 4 home games now, not just 3. The top 8 overall advance directly to the round of 16. Sides finishing from 9th to 24th will contest a knockout round playoffs, with the victors going through to the last 16. From then on, it's straight knockout. So that is how it will work. So top 8 straight through to the round of 16. Then the other 8 that they will face is decided after playoffs between the 9th to the 24th. So you're guaranteed at least 5 home games, which is big money. Halving that, they get 32 million, not 60 million. I mean, yeah, at least because it's still money in our pockets. Rangers have not got the money needed. We haven't got. I'm not saying we've got the money needed to compete, Stephen. What I'm saying is we need to get the money by actually getting in there, getting into the Champions League. It's all about winning. You get 3.2 million for winning the league, 1.5 million for winning the Scottish Cup, which is obviously 4.7 million, which is way under what you get in Europe. That's why we need to go into the Champions League. Now, in terms of the draws, these are where it is. The Champions League draws. So currently the qualifying rounds were the 18th of June, 19th of June. The draw for the third qualifying round, where Rangers enter the tournament, is the 22nd of July. So on the 22nd of July, we will find out who our opponents will be in the third qualifying round. In the playoffs, the playoff draw, which is the one before the group stage, is the 5th of August. Then hopefully on the 29th of August, we will be in that league phase draw. Okay, so when are the 24-25 qualifiers? So the first qualifying round is on the 9th and 10th and the 16th and 17th of July. So the first qualifying round is this week. Second qualifying round is 23rd, 24th, 30th, 31st of July. The round that Rangers enter, the third qualifying round, is on the 6th and 7th of August and the 13th of August. The playoffs will then take place on the 20th, 21st, 27th, or 28th of August. So that is 2 games at least where we will not be able to play at home at Ibrox. Again, those games will take place at either Hampden or at Murrayfield. So that is when the actual draws are, and that is when the game is there. Following the following season, no automatic spot ain't there. Exactly. So as of next season, whoever is the Scottish champions will have to start in the third qualifying round. There will be no automatic qualification, thanks to Celtic, Aberdeen, Hearts been so shit in Europe. Rangers, the only team that kept up the coefficient, of course. That's why I'm pissed off with our bottle jobs, because we needed that UCL money. We do need the money. The money is absolutely vital. The money is massively needed, I think, to take this club forward, to buy players, to bring in players. People are talking about bringing experience, bringing in the whole situation where we do need players like, with experience, top centre halves, top centre forwards, who can come in and actually make a difference at this club from day one. Now, my worry is very much, very, very much on a situation where we need to bring those players in sooner rather than later. I mean, I read a good point this morning that said that, with the first Champions League game being on the 3rd of August, been in August, and the league starting the 3rd of August, we need in the next 10 days to bring in any players that we're going to want to use for those games so they can actually hit the ground running and be able to start. Because as it stands at the moment, it's going to be a squad that is bereft of quality. All says I'm pissed off by refusing to buy new tops to the real clear-out starts. I totally agree with your comments on the Champions League. We need money from the Champions League to be close to Celtic on a monetary basis. They already have over 70 million in the bank, plus this year's CL money. Absolutely, Ian. That is the point. We need the money. And like I said, a lot of fans are missing the point. He said, we need to be competitive. We need to... Nothing. Look, are we going to win the Europa League realistically this season? No, we're not. Are we going to realistically get to the final this season in the Europa League? No, we're not. Are we going to win the Champions League? No, we're not. We just need to see Europe as a cash cow. At the end of the day, been somewhere we can go and get money. The focus this season has to be on competing in the league, competing in the 2 cups, competing in Scotland to win a domestic treble, not looking at Europe as a place to win a trophy. We're not going to win the Europa League. We're not going to win the Champions League. I mean, that's just never going to happen. But look, it's not going to happen. We need to focus on league, but we need the money from Europe for next season to actually really kick on again. And the more times that we are successful in getting into the Champions League, the more money we accrue from the Champions League, the better quality of player you can buy, and the more competitive in the long run you can be in Europe. I think a lot of home fans are missing the point on this Champions League debate, in my opinion. Dado says use Newcastle. That's a good shout. Decent. Big, massive ground. CJ, totally understand, mate. Wish I could get, but I like to get our tops anyways. I still want Goldson to have to go at least. Those 2 are rubbish and can't defend. I agree on that one. They can't defend. So look, where are we at the moment? We're in a situation realistically where we are not ready for the start of this season. I mean, realistically, looking at where we are at the moment, as a club, you realistically are looking at, on day one of the league, for me, this being, if let's say in the unlikely event we don't sign anybody else. Okay, realistically, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we will sign someone. I think we will make purchases. I think we will buy players. I get that we will. I think realistically, you're probably looking at the starting lineup, looking something like this at this moment in time. I'm trying to quickly type one out in the live chat. So look, realistically, the way the club looks at the moment in terms of players, not using any of those young players that have come in, because Clement has said that he won't start them from minute 1. From what he was saying, I mean, realistically, that would be the starting 11 for the first game of the season. Butland, Tav, Goldson, Suter, Ridvan, Diamande, Lawrence, Cortez, Cantwell, McCausland, Dessers, Denier. I think if that is the starting lineup this season, we win absolutely nothing. Genuinely think we win absolutely nothing. We win totally, just don't win a thing this season. Let's have a look what we've got. CJ says here in the live chat, he says, I'd buy every top the day it comes out. Fuming, I'll buy everyone once Tav goes. We are lots ahead of them in the window at the moment, which is good. What have we got? I mean, that may be the only saving grace is that their transfer business is absolute pish at the moment. It really genuinely is. I mean, that could be the only saving base. The league is the first and foremost. Agree, Stephen. Absolutely. We've got to win the league next season. We can't allow them to move ahead of us in terms of trophies won. We might qualify. The teams we can get aren't terrible, but then our world beaters, either it all depends on who we get rid of. Absolutely. And if the new players settle. James, what have we got? Aldo says here in the live chat, he says, James Tavernier last home game v Celtic was shocking. He was absolutely shite. Look, I'm not saying that I hate James Tavernier, and so many fans think I do. All I'm saying is, and people go, let me just sort of, from that comment, let me just summarize the abuse that I'm getting online from people on YouTube, from people on Facebook, on Twitter, etc. Is Tav's the best player we've got. Tav's goals and Dav's goals and assists dig us out of holes. If we didn't have Tav, we'd be nowhere. You know, go and support Celtic. You're not a Rangers fan. Fuck off, you English prick, etc., etc. That's what I've been getting online from all these Tav fanboys who have laminated pictures of Tav by their bedsides. But what they fail to see is his defence is getting worse. He's getting slower. Every team now, including teams in Europe, target the right side of our defence because they know that Tav is slow, can't defend, can't tackle. Every Old Firm game, Dyson Maida, who is an average footballer, Dyson Maida is not a world beater, is not a top talent, runs past him for fun. And they just can't see this. And this is what frustrates the hell out of me. Ewan says it's going to be a difficult season, a whole new squad. They're going to need time to settle and get used to playing together as a team. Very true. Dado says Tav is a disgrace. Let's bring the comment if I can. What else? Stephen says, if Tav and Goldson are here next season, we will win. Sweet fuck all, I think, is meant to be rather than the Scottish FA Cup. Like Tav Cup, he's not a captain or a defender, and people say we need his goals for fuck's sake. We can't rely on it, but absolutely, 100%. 100%. Thank you very much for that one. Thank you very much, Older. That means a lot. I mean, I would like to see Tav and Goldson next season. I think Clement will put them through a good program, would judge them in pre-season, new season, give them pre-season, give everyone a chance. Interesting thoughts from Caleb. Caleb disagree on that one, but everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Goldson too, yeah, he stayed because of the money, but he's useless. I mean, that's going to be the issue, isn't it? I think that trying to get rid of Goldson is going to come down to the fact that he's on 40 grand a week here. What have we got here? Like I said last night, live stream, if Tav was so great and a legend, he'd be playing for England, winning the World Cups. Exactly. This is another thing I don't agree with. Tav is not a legend. John Gregg is a legend. Colin Steen is a legend. Willie Johnston is a legend. Richard Goff is a legend. Terry Butcher is a legend. For example, there are more, but they are legends. Why are they legends? Because they won things, because they won league titles, because they won multiple trophies with their team, because they were great on the pitch. They were leaders. They are everything Tav is not. Tav is not in the same class as John Gregg, Willie Johnston, Colin Steen, Terry Butcher, Gary Stevens, Graham Souness, to name but a few. If you think that Tav is a legend, you are saying that he should be talked about in the same breath as John Gregg, Colin Steen, Willie Johnston, Richard Goff, Terry Butcher, Graham Souness. I'm sorry, he does not deserve that. What's what we got here? As you say, Birmingham would pay that, so he will stay. Exactly. Chris says, if it isn't just Tav's mistakes on Goldson's that annoys me, it's their attitudes absolutely stinking, always moaning at the other players after they cost us goals. When we lose, Tav's comments are rinse and repeat. Exactly, you can play Tav bingo, can't you, with the whole, I'm disappointed, we'll learn from this, blah, 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 blah. I'm allowed in midfield, lol. Yeah, wouldn't we love to have that back? 100% love to have that back. Tam says here, very angry again. Can you imagine going to the first Old Firm game at the Piggery where Tav taking on Maida? The thought is terrifying. Exactly. I think a lot of our supporters have forgot the first thing about our clubs is to CJ. Brilliant, spot on. This is what I said the other day. I think I think there's a lot of fans out there that don't understand that Rangers is about winning. Hey, John, how you doing? Rangers is about winning trophies. It's not about finishing second and just having a player that looks really good for his statistics. It's about winning things. I think a lot of the newer fans don't understand that. They don't understand the legacy of this club is to win every season and to win the league every season and to win the treble every season. That is what is expected of this club. That's the expectation. People talk about standards. For me, standards are that we win every single season. We go on, we are successful, we win the league every season. We win the cup every season. We have a decent go in Europe. I'm not saying we win it, we have a decent go in Europe. That is the expectation for Rangers. Not that we finish second every season, that Tav scores 25 goals and everyone goes, oh, how great is he? Okay, that's not what it's about for me. I would rather, over the last 8 seasons that we've had Tav, that he'd scored 2 goals, but we'd won the league every season. Genuinely would. Sorry, Owen. Was trying to say not to having goals from other people they were used to. For example, I mean players. That's fine, mate. Don't apologise, Caleb. You're absolutely fine, mate. Your opinion is so welcome here. Yilmaz, Lawrence, Dessers, Denier, etc. No problems, mate. Aldo says, celebrating a 3-3 draw v Celtic shows our standards have dropped badly. Growing up, lose or draw was not an option versus them. Agreed. It wasn't. When I first started following Rangers, 86, 87, with Graham Souness as our manager, if you'd said to Graham Souness that we would celebrate a 3-3 draw at Ibrox, he would punch you in the face. He would actually headbutt you and punch you in the face. Stephen, agree. Second best is nothing for Rangers. 8 million for both, what, 4 million each? Although, yeah, I'd take that as well. I think there's a lot of fans who've forgotten the expectations of our club. That's where we're at. We are a long way short at this moment in time. We do need, I think, to really move over the next few weeks, days even, and weeks to get some experienced talent in. Personally speaking, I don't want Kenny McLean at the club. I don't think that's a good buy at all. I want Seema back. 100% want Seema back. The talk, like I said on this morning's video, is that the price for Seema is going to go down, which is good news. I want Seema back. He is a very experienced player. 100%. I think he's back. We do need to, I think, get some experience into this team, and it needs to come sooner rather than later. The problem we've got is that we are in a position where we're going to go into 2 preseason friendlies. Now, friendlies are supposed to be about getting your team together, putting your team together for the new season. This team and this squad are nowhere near ready yet for the start of this season. So we do need to move quickly on that one. I celebrated that day. It was because of the comeback, but you don't do a lap of honour. You go clap the fans and get down the tunnel, says Caleb. Plus, when's the last time we totally duffed a team? You need to be guaranteed a season. Now we're scraping wins against crap teams. Very true. We are. I disagree. We don't want Seema back. He's too injury prone. Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough, Caleb. Standards have fallen. Absolutely, standards have fallen. Standards have fallen massively amongst the fans and amongst the team at this moment in time. 100%. Souness used to love when we won leagues early and he'd come out for the last game to play. Agreed. He'd love rubbing it in their face as well. Right, guys, before we call it a pod for this morning, just a reminder, this is the offer for this season here on the channel. If you missed it at the start of the pod, so the minimum of 2 pods in the week, Monday to Friday. We'll have a minimum of 2 live podcasts for you every single week. Then on Sunday, 8:30 every Sunday, there'll be the final word, reviewing the week in Rangers and reviewing the game, obviously, if a game has taken place. 2 fan forums a month. As I said to the people who were here at the start, the fan forums are where you will get a chance to come on. You will get a chance to be on screen with me and talk all things Rangers. There will be 2 fan forums a month. There'll be daily news and opinion vids, live watch-alongs, and, of course, shorts as well. That is the offer for the channel for this season. Hope you like that. If you do like it, hit the sub, ring the notification bell. And like I said, at the end, I would love to have you guys on. I'd love to have you guys here on the channel with me. Like I said, the big thing when I set this channel up, when I started Glasgow Rangers Nation, for me, it's not just about me sitting here talking crap for 40 minutes an hour or 20 minutes or 10 minutes or 7 minutes or 8 minutes or whatever it is. It's about you being involved and you having a say within in the channel as well. Well, thank you for watching this morning. It's been a pleasure to speak to you again, as always. A reminder, tonight at 8:30, your chance to really take over with the Q&A. That is tonight at 8:30, so please come along for that. 8:30 p.m. tonight, the Q&A is on, so please come and join in that Q&A. It'll be a pleasure, absolutely fantastic to have you for that that Q&A tonight. I'll just post that reminder in the live chat. Okay, that's what we have tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. Please, on the way out, smash the like, and obviously as well, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. On the way out, as I always say to you, two things I'd love you to do for me. Number one, smash that like. Number two, remember always, we are the people.